y'all, it's Kentucky Renaissance, man. I'm down here in my shop and we are building a ripper for my skid steer. We might put it on that Kubota or on the new case, but really I'm just making it for any of my skid steers. And what we're doing is I've got this large piece of 4x8 steel square tubing. It's 3/8 thick wall, and I've laid out a whole bunch of mortises on here, and I'm taking the plasma cutter and cutting them out. And then what I'm going to do is take these sleeves of 1.25" by 3" steel, and I'm going to insert them through these mortises like that. And they're going to go all the way through. Then I'll weld them around the perimeter. And then after that, what we'll have is these ripper shanks off of a box cut or a box blade. And so I've got a bunch of them. They're 18" blades. They're going to slide through those tubes, and that's going to create 6 ripper shanks through this bar. And then I got on Titan equipment and bought a full, check this out, a full 1/2" thick Bobcat plate, universal mounting plate. And this is not welded, this is actually bent around one piece and has full 1/2". I'm going to reinforce the tops up here, and this mounting plate is of course a full size mounting plate for a skid steer front plate. Quick disconnect. Anyway, we're going to mount it on this, use some 4x4 square tubing for a framework to secure the plate all the way to that, and then it'll go where your forks of your bucket go. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll do some pieces of the steps as we go along. All right, so I laid out this piece of steel 80 inches long. I picked 80 because it was just kind of right in between everything. And then I've come in 3 inches from the end on each one. So it puts the center of this one to the center of the end one 6 feet apart, which is a really good width for your skid steer. So you're ripping right under your tracks. And then they're 12 inches on center all the way through. So there'll be 6 blades, and each one of them will have a pin coming through it so you can adjust the height of it. I'm going to make it to where the plate is tilted just a little bit. So you see how the forks are sitting basically level right now, maybe up a little, down a little bit. We'll put it to where this slopes a little bit so that you can roll it back to pick the hooks up, or roll it forward to get it down. Alright, so I got my pieces here. I've drilled my first pilot hole, but what I do is I mark them all, and then I give myself a center punch, hit that with a hammer, puts a little indentation so I can drill my first smaller hole. Then I'll change bits and step up to this size, and then I'll drill it all the way out.
noticed I left a piece of metal sticking out on the end of my beam, and then I heated it up, folded it down. Now I'll be able to weld these corners inside and out and create a full box before I weld it onto the beam itself. And that should seal it all up, keep water out of it, but also make it a lot stronger instead of leaving it open-toed. Anyway, I'm a self-taught farm welder, so y'all forgive me if my welds aren't as good as some of you guys, but I do enjoy it, and you can't know everything. Well, she's taking shape. I'm by no means done welding. I still have the sides of these brackets, but I've gotten a triple weld all the way around my two beams up to my plate. I've done a triple weld on the tips there and welded up my ends. All those through mortise wheels are in for the shanks, but I still have this piece right here left still, and I'll run a triple bead on it all the way around. But there it is. I kept saying the other day it was 6 shanks. There's actually 7. Got one right in the middle. To get 6 foot long, you got 7 shanks. But anyway, it's taking shape. It is really heavy. I can't can't pick it up. I can roll it over just barely, but it's getting heavy. All right, guys, I have got the ripper completely built. The only thing left to do is clean it up, wire wheel the whole thing, get it ready for some primer, and then I will put black paint on there. I think I'm just going to do black. Shanks are black, but they won't be black long once you start ripping in the ground. I think it turned out pretty good. It's 80 inches wide. The teeth, the outside teeth are 72 inches apart. But if you look down my skid steer, let's see, about right there. We're about 3 inches inside, 2 to 3 inches inside the track, just a little bit. And the steel bar sticks out just a couple inches past it. I put a couple of 12,000 pound D-rings on each of my stems or keels, whatever you want to call them, just for whatever. They'll pull on something, a tree root or another piece of equipment, or just to pick it up with a chain and set it on the trailer with a track hoe or something. And then if you look here, you can pull these pins out. This is hard to do one-handed. You can pull these up. And we got, I think there's 4 holes on each of these. Shanks. The other thing that I like is, since there's 7 shanks, you can leave the outside one, the middle one, and the outside one, have just 3 down, and turn the other 4 upside down and let them stick straight up in the air. Or you could remove the outside 2 and run only 5 in the middle, which would be just inside your tracks. Let's see. Or you could remove every other one and have 4 of them. It would be 2 feet apart. Anyway, or you could run 1 right in the middle. It's like a subsoiler, and just lower it down as low as it'll go. And I think I can rip somewhere around 14 inches deep with it, set down as low as it'll go. But right now they're sitting on 12 inches. Yeah, 12 inches down if I bottom it out. Anyway, I welded some caps on the ends, and I ran this 3x3 square 1/4 inch wall tube around and welded it solid to the 1/2 inch plate. And dropped inside there. Welded all that back up. Ran see now the angle that I have. So if the tube's sitting level, I'm kicked forward just a little bit. When I drop all the way into the ground, when the tines are flush right there with the ground, this boom will hit the pressure blocks on the tractor, so that way it's got full kind of dozer force up against it. It's not floating on the cylinders when you're ripping. So everything is pushed straight back to the machine instead of trying to float with it. You could scratch the ground with it up in the air. The other thing is you can reverse these tines the way I set them up. If you look, the tines are all clear of the headboard, so I can turn the tines upside down for stowage when I just want to rip with less than 7, or I can pull them out and reverse them around so I can rip while I'm dragging. So I can go forward, backwards, or stow them upside down. So I'll get it all painted up and then we'll get it out there and rip some ground. I hope you enjoyed this project. Stay tuned. All right, we got it all painted up, fixing to hook it up to the skid steer. We'll go try it out here on the field. It's all nice and black. Won't be long. I'm gonna get some different bolts for my pins, but it should work pretty good. Rigs up them corn clods. I'll have to push them back out. Man, this would be the perfect way to work up a garden, that's for sure. 16, 17 inches deep right there. Just ripping it right out. I got all these corn stalks on top, dragging them up, but that's alright.